This is TWiT.
This is late breaking news, but kind of disappointing. For many years, I was a big Evernote fan. Phil Libin, who's been on our show many times, was the CEO. He told me at one point that more than half of their signups came from me, people I recommended use Evernote, loved Evernote. They've gone through a lot of troubles and eventually were bought by an Italian company called Bending Spoons. They have fired 129 employees now, and it looks like, I don't know if it's the end of the line, but the Milan-based Bending Spoons has shut down their U.S. operations. Kind of sad, kind of the end of the line, I think. I mean, I've said this before for Evernote, but maybe this is the real deal. End of the line. Did you use Evernote, Ben?
All the time.
Yeah.
And like, look, Phil's a friend too. Phil was one of the very first investors in Octane back in the day. This is, of course, after he left Evernote. But I switched over. I put my stuff into Apple Notes and I put my stuff over into Notion a little while ago because Notion's fantastic. The writing's been on the wall for Evernote for a while, unfortunately. And it is sad because it was a great product and it could have very well like come out with Notion like features and other things. But, you know, once you didn't have someone like Phil at the helm, you didn't have founders, you had like all those kinds of things. Like it just felt like nothing ever changed and no one really wanted to change things. And eventually you can't win if you do that.
Ironically, one of the nails in the coffin was their move to subscription some years ago. Nowadays, I mean, Notion's a subscription product. Everything's a subscription, including Microsoft Office. Had they done it, you know, recently, it might have not been in such a negative, but I think it really hurt them back when they did it. They were, early on the subscription train. And I think it's true that there are so many other choices. I like Notion. I like Roam. I like Obsidian. I've been using a free open source product called Logseq now for a while, Logseq. It's fantastic, and it's free. There's so many good choices out there, and it's come along with this idea of the personal knowledge management system, PKMS. And a lot of people, students, it started with college kids, but a lot of people now are starting to adopt these systems like Zettelkasten, which ties your thoughts together in such a way that you can have, take notes on what you're learning and then create new ideas based on the synergy of all these notes. It's a really interesting model these days. And I think Evernote, which really was the first, OneNote preceded it, but Evernote was so much better. It's kind of sad. I don't know if it's the end of the line, but it doesn't feel good. When you lay off 129 people, that's usually not a good sign.
I hope they all land on their feet. That's what I hope.
TechCrunch says they're getting good severance. They're not being dumped out. Actually, it's not TechCrunch. It's the San Francisco Chronicle. I guess they're all in San Francisco. The company will provide 16 weeks of salary, prorated performance benefit, up to a year of health insurance, and visa support to affected employees.
That sounds like an Italian company.
It does. They're probably required to, aren't they, by law?
Right.
Yeah. They say our plans for Evernote are as ambitious as ever. Going forward, a growing dedicated team based in Europe will continue to assume ownership of the Evernote product. No, he's turning into a vampire. I'm sorry. That wasn't my intent.
You transported me to Lake Como,
Yeah, Lago di Como. I see. Bending Spoons had $100 million in it. Now I'm Rosanna Dana. I don't know. It's all over the place. They also got...
How do you say pivot to AI in Italian? That's
pivot to AI. AI.
Oh, hey, that's a really nice iPhone you have there. You totally picked the right color. Hey, since you do use an iPhone and maybe use an iPad or an Apple Watch or an Apple TV, well, you should check out iOS Today. It's a show that I, Micah Sargent, and my co-host Rosemary Orchard host every Tuesday right here on the TWiT network. It covers all things iOS, tvOS, HomePodOS, watchOS, iPadOS. It's all the OSs that Apple has on offer, and we love to give you tips and tricks about making the most of those devices, checking out great apps and services, and answering your tech questions. questions. I hope you check it out.